good today. I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good today.
Welcome back to our podcast.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the Right or Wrong podcast. What's up, Hannah?
Not much. Really good. How are you?
I will be your host today. This will be your other.
I asked you how you was feeling, and you just gonna go past that.
Okay. How I feel today? I feel okay, but I'm a little irritated, like my friend. I'm a little
Why you
irritated. I'm irritated because so we do topic discussions or podcasts, and my eyes running. We do these discussions on Facebook and TikTok and other stuff, and we have people that always give us a bunch of topics to discuss. We do a question of the day, and it started off where we would do question of the day. It would be something that we would come up with, but now you have so many people. We have so many new friends and family and subscribers, followers, and they give us suggestions, stuff that they want to know about. So we do a question of the day. And today, somebody was real irritated with our question of the day. They were irritated about it. And I can tell. They didn't say it, but I could just tell by their comment. And it was more of why are the questions of the day that we put, why is it like a contest? Who's right or who's wrong? And I was kind of taken back because
Okay, keep going.
I was taken back because these are real.
Can I interject?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't think it was about who was right and who was wrong. It was more about why they so negative all the time.
Okay.
That's
Okay. Yeah.
So negative?
Why is there so many negative? Well, here's the thing.
Topics.
Here's the thing. To that person and anybody that feels that way, these are real topics by real people. These are people that want to know they want to know people's opinion about these topics. And I went on to break it down to the person, and like our topic for today was, let me find it. I'm saying it. Now I can't find it. Okay. Our topic for today was, who is to blame if a child don't know who their father is? And again, that was asked of us by somebody else. So
But if it wasn't, it's still our question of the day. It's still our platform, so we can ask what we want to ask.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. The thing is, you want feedback from people. So again, I understand.
I mean, but she was.
And the problem is with that person, they were kind of, I guess, they were irritated by, for whatever reason, I don't know. They was irritated, and they was basically, why does there have to be a wrong answer or a right answer? And it's not. There's no such thing as a wrong or right answer, right? You learned that in school. However you feel is how you feel, right? I just think that with that particular question, if you look around, I mean, unless you live under a rock, you look around and you look on TV. You look at all the court shows. You look at Maury, paternity court, divorce court. You look at all these different courts, and you never hear someone, a woman get up there and she's looking for, a woman gets up there and they say, hey, you're my child's father, right? And you never hear somebody, hold on, let me finish. You never hear a person say, oh, well, my child don't know the father because I was going to put my child up for adoption, and it was a closed adoption, and we didn't want the child to actually know who he was, and it's just stupid, right? You don't see that. So the question was based on what's going on in the real world. Usually it's somebody up there saying you're the father. They take a DNA test. It comes back, hey, you're the father. Or it comes back, hey, you're not the father. So now, who do you blame in that situation? So our topic for today will be, who is to blame if a child don't know who their father is? Let's talk about it. Let's put our opinion on it. You want to go first?
Sure, because I might not be able to solve. I believe, honestly, it's the mother's fault. Sorry, wait. It's the mother's fault. And we watched the show. What was the show we watched? Was it,
it was Paternity Court.
It was Paternity Court the other day. And there was this 43-year-old man on there who brought the man who he thought was his father to court. And his mother told him before she died that he was her father. Well,
yeah. Go back a little bit.
11 years old.
At
she
11,
told him that he was the father. This man was the father.
Right. No, she told the son that particular guy was his father.
So,
and then what she did was she told him he was the father, and then told him where he lived, and basically sent him to his house. Sent him to the house.
And the man said, "I'm not your father," and closed the door. So fast forward to 43 years old. They're in court. Mm-hmm. The father, his wife, and his son.
Yeah.
It made me so mad.
And they dogged him.
They dogged him so much.
They dogged him hard. And you know what? It wasn't even. I'm gonna tell you my problem in that particular case. It wasn't the man. It was his wife and his son.
Yes.
And it was like, okay. First of all, the man was like, "I'm not your father," and then he basically, in so many words, said his mama was a hoe. Basically, in so many words, he called her, whatever. He called her, and he never denied having sex with her.
Never once.
He never denied sex with her.
His wife kept saying, "That ain't his child. That ain't his child." But the man never said one time that he never had sex with this lady.
She remind me of somebody, not family. But she basically took over the whole
conversation.
Right. She basically spoke for him, and while she took over, then the son jumps up. Mm-hmm. And like he explained, the guy was like, "You know what? I don't know." He said, all I'm going is what my mother said. Right. And like the judge said, who do you think a 11-year-old child is just going to get it in his head and say, just pick a random man out of the blue and say, "Hey, that's my father"? You have to think, this is what the mother, even if the mother was wrong, this is what the mother told him. So he's going about it. There's no man in his life. He's going about it the way he knows how to go about it.
And why would my mama laugh at me?
This lady, they accused him of wanting money, wanting all this stuff, and he was like, "Listen, I'm 43 years old." He was like, I just want to know my father. I just want to know who I belong to." He was like, "I don't want nothing from him." He said, "I never asked anybody, you or anybody else, for a penny." That lady kept going in, and it was just, I see it so much. It's the bitterness. She was bitter. She was
mad
bitter
at the husband.
Right. She was bitter at the husband, but she's dogging him.
That he slept with that lady. Mm-hmm. She know he did, but she won't admit it. She know he did.
So she dogging him about being, and then here's the other part that just burnt me up even more. The son gets up at 30-something years old, right? and then he basically talks real kind of reckless to this, to the guy. And I know myself, I would have had to walk out the courtroom because I would have drugged him all up and down the courtroom. Because the problem with the conversation is, here is a case between this guy and this guy. The rest of you people ain't got nothing to say. The rest of you people shouldn't have a word to say. You sit there with your arms folded.
I mean, she could have said,
Listen.
she could have had something to say.
She
but
talked
she went the wrong way. She talked like she was sitting there with them while they was having sex.
Right.
Like
she
was in the room
talked
with
like
them,
right.
directing. Like you
That
wasn't the
didn't
director.
happen. I don't
right.
like she don't know.
You wasn't the director
at all. And the man basically did not one time say, "Oh, I ain't had sex with you." Mm-hmm. Not one time. But yet, how could the wife study jump up and just take over? Oh, that's not his child. That's not his child. And I was just like, controlling.
Yeah.
Controlling. Very controlling. And it was sad. It was
controlling, bitter. Very, very bitter.
No, you could see the controlling. You could see it. Oh, you could see the control. You could see it. You could see it. You could see it in her demeanor, the way she act, the way she talked, the way she just stepped on top of him. Like, you can just see that. And the problem is this. That situation, no matter what, is blamed on his mother. Right? It's his mother. It is the job.
But is it his mama's fault? Did she tell him that this is your father? Maybe they had sex and she thought that was his father. Mm-hmm. So that's what she told him. So is it really her fault? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's stop trying to beat around the bush. Let's stop trying to beat around the bush in this situation with women, because men do a lot of wrong. Men do a lot of stupid stuff. Men have babies, don't take care of them. Men have babies all out the relationship, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Stand on it. Yeah, we do it. But at the same time, when it comes to knowing who your father is, your mama's at fault. Nobody else. Because one, she should know who the father is. That's one. You should know. And if you don't know who the father is, that just shows you how you was living.
Y'all better get him.
That shows you how you was living, right? No, hey, listen. Take responsibility for what you do wrong. I done took responsibility in my life for a lot of stuff. Take responsibility. Don't try to just, that's mom. Mom never does anything wrong. Stop it.
I agree.
Everybody make mistakes.
Because I saw another case the same way. The lady was telling her daughter that this was her father, and the girl was going up on the father, and it wasn't his child.
And he wasn't, yeah. And you know what? That's the first thing I see too.
At the end of it, the lady was still like, "Well, you could have been the father. Could have been, should have been, but he was not."
Right. You know what? And now, just please, to everyone that's watching this, it is not an indictment on women. It is not an indictment. Situations happen. Stuff happens. I get it. I get that. But just in society, in our culture today, now there's other situations that they don't show on TV because, of course, they want ratings. So they just gonna show
the ratchet side.
They're gonna show the ratchet side. But just based on the ratchet side, who's the blame? It's the mother. It's the mother. You can't listen. You can't be what's the word? I was trying to use the other word because you was just looking at me. Okay. Yeah. No. You can't. Okay. Look, I got no. Okay. Let's. I found the better word. Okay. You can't be promiscuous.
Okay. Good word.
Can't be promiscuous, and then turn around and something bad happen and just act like, I'm just holier than thou. You can't do that. You can't. How they say with a drug addict, you can't beat drug addiction without admitting first that you're a drug addict, right? You can't be the Nixon if you can't admit you a drug addict. So if you was out there sleeping with a lot of people that you don't know who, then you have to admit that. Listen, your mother was out here bad.
Be honest.
I'm just saying, if I was a mother,
that's the topic. I mean, that's the
be honest.
Be honest.
Yep.
I had sex with Tom, Joe, and Blue, and I don't know who's the father.
I don't know, but I get it. Sometimes women think they know. Like, it can't be this person,
but
it's got to be that
don't
person.
Act like
I get it,
but don't act like there's no possibilities.
Right? Don't act like, because that's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
I'm 1000% he's the dick.
No, I ain't never had sex with somebody else.
What? Right? You go around acting like your mother named the Virgin Mary. No, man. Again, I'm not knocking mothers. What I'm saying is take responsibility for your mistakes. That's what I'm saying. Take responsibility. And the problem is, everybody loved their mother. Mother's baby, daddy's maybe, right? Everybody love their mother. So whatever their mother say, it's Bible. It's Bible. Whatever mom say to you, it's Bible. But mom could be lying through her teeth, right? And then the thing is, mom will be lying through her teeth because the first thing she'll say is, you know what? You was too young to have this conversation with. True. But when you gonna have this conversation? Because here's my man get on here at 43 years old, or matter of fact, you told him at 11 and you didn't pursue it. You just basically,
but on the flip side of that whole conversation, the alleged father could have pursued it also. He did not. The man came, he was 11 years old, said to my father.
He was confident.
He should have came back and said, well, let's take a DNA test.
Exactly.
And
he was confident too.
Or his loudmouth wife should have said, let's go take a DNA test and see if this boy is yours.
The man turned around, told him, no, I have a nice day. And then when they was talking, the judge was talking to the court, and he was like, well, they turned me around. The chick was like, we ain't turned you around. Lady, he just said no, and you closed the door in my face. What you mean? What, you just told me no, kick rocks. You didn't come back, was like, damn, could this be true? Like, is this true? Turn to your husband and say, the husband, nah, baby, that ain't true. He's sweating bullets. I would have loved, I promise to God, I would have loved it when it came back and been like, you are the father. After they just dogged him, because I was like, after I found that, I was like, thank you, Judge. I'd be like, thank you, Pops. Thank you, such and such. I won't be talking to y'all again. That's why I would have went with it. I'd have been so classy about it. You know what I mean? And I would have left. I would have lightly left. But you know what? It was funny though, because the one thing he did do after, when he found he wasn't the father, he just left. I would have did the same thing too, because they dogged that man.
The same way though. You could blame the mother, but you could also blame the father, because if he wasn't out there messing around on his wife, then they wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So it go both ways.
Yes, it definitely goes both ways. It definitely goes, because at the same time, he should know who his own children is too, right?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's, and the only reason I was saying, because it's kind of a loaded question, to be honest with you, that the person said. It's a loaded question because actually you turn and say, well, who's the father? Who's to blame if a father don't know the child? The only person you can blame is the mother.
or no, you can blame the father too, like I just said.
How?
Because if you have
okay, no. Let's make the scenario. Let's make the scenario. If you listen to the question is loaded, right? Who is to blame if a child don't know who their father is? First of all, most children come up with their mother. Now, unless the mother is gone, like for a lot of people, and let's say you live with a grandmother or auntie or whatever, so you don't have a mother or father in your life. You know what I'm saying? All right, I can kind of get that one. You don't have either one for whatever situation, and that's what somebody was trying to say, right? And that was one of the points that was trying to be made. They're saying, listen, it's not necessarily the mother. You don't know the circumstances. But I'm basing this where I'm assuming this question is based on something of that nature. It's not based on a situation where, you know, you want to just make up and say, oh, well, you know what? Maybe they both died in a plane crash and the child was 3 years old and you know, they don't know neither one. I don't know who my father or my mother, or I don't know who the father or mother was. And whoever, let's say the auntie or the sister of the mother or grandmother of the mother end up with the child, and they tell you about the mother, but they don't tell you about the father. You know, I get it about the situations that can happen. But let's base this on what we see every day. Let's base this on what we see and what we know.
What about too, when a man is married, he's like, okay, now we gonna do this here, but don't tell nobody. Don't tell my wife that I'm gonna be in your house every night, you know, creeping with you. And then she get pregnant, and he like, no, I can't claim the baby. I can't claim the baby. What do you do then? She gonna be like, okay, cool. Just to, you know, keep her check going. She gonna be like, okay, cool. She gonna go along with you.
I still blame the mother. Because at the end of the day, you should always tell your child. At the end of the day, because if you, again, today's situation comes from yesterday's problems.
What if you have a child out there in the world and you know you have a child out there in the world, but they haven't found you, but you know they're out there? Who fault is that you don't reach out to that child or their mother and be like, hey, I know you got pregnant and it could be my baby. What about that? Who fault is that? Crickets.
I'm trying to think how I'm gonna say this. Okay, so all right, let me flip it a little bit. Okay, I get that question, but what if that question was presented to a woman? Do you go, when you have a baby, do you go back and find every sexual partner you ever had and say, you know what, this could be your baby?
But how you gonna
Nope, answer the question. No, answer the question.
No. How you gonna skip my question?
This is relevant, Your Honor.
Okay. So what's your question? He don't even know.
Do, as a woman, right? Let's say you're pregnant. You don't know who it is. Or whatever. You're pregnant. And you like, well, damn, I'm not quite sure who the baby father is. Do you go back to every sexual partner, go pull out your little black book or your little pink book and go call everybody?
It shouldn't be that many.
What if it is that many? Now, mind you, I said every sexual partner. Let's not go to the body count thing.
You should.
Yeah.
You should go back to everybody that you had sex with that could potentially be your son or your child's father.
Like most women would be like, it'll just be 3 men.
Now for the father, should you not go back to every woman that you had and be like, hey, was you pregnant?
That's damn near impossible. That's damn near impossible. That's the point. That sounds insane. That sounds insane. I'm gonna go for, it just don't work that way. You got a husband, she got a boyfriend, your numbers didn't change. I'm gonna go hunt you down and be like, hey, do you think it's possible that you was pregnant and I'm the father? I'm gonna go ask every sexual partner.
What if you knew that you had got pregnant, or you could cosplay?
I don't know what I look like. I'm not psychic. I'm not. I don't know. I'm gonna cut that off. No, I don't know. I'm not psychic. I'm not psychic. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Where did this just go? So you mean to tell me that you saying it's my job to go back to every sexual partner I had and say, you know what? I'm just calling to make sure that me and you ain't had no babies.
I have a question. Okay, good point.
How many times I'm gonna get hung up on, cussed out?
Good point. Right, y'all. Good point. Now, what if you had HIV or AIDS? Are you going to go back and call who you need to call?
That's another topic.
Again, crickets.
I'm just saying.
It's on the woman, but
I mean,
men have to take some type of responsibility.
I get your point, and you're right. I get what you're saying to me, and I'm not advocating for men not to take that responsibility. I'm not. I'm with you. What I'm saying is, women need to take more responsibility. Women are put in this position, this pedestal, where they can just get away with lying. And so many women do. Again, today's situations come from yesterday's problems. If they wasn't being busted down yesterday, we wouldn't have this situation. If y'all wasn't busting them down, we wouldn't have these situations either. Hey, listen.
You can't call us. You can't call a coffee pot. Wherever it go.
Hey, shit.
You can't call the pot black.
If I like to drink Starbucks lemonades, then I'm gonna go drink a Starbucks lemonade. Hell, what you mean? She a bust down?
If you bust,
she a bust down.
If you bust the bus down, if you bust the bus down, what them make you? Or baby daddy. Period.
Really? I'm just saying, man. It's in this particular situation. I'm just saying that the responsibility falls squarely and more directly on the mother.
And then another thing, if the men will wrap it up, we won't have that issue either. Wrap it up when y'all stepping on y'all girls. Wrap it up. And then we won't have babies out here that don't know who they daddy is.
That is a double-edged sword. That is a sword with two sides.
It is, but it is what it is.
I can wrap it up, but you allowed me not to wrap it up. So it's a double-edged sword.
You allow her to allow you not to. And now you stuck.
Well, she allowed me, then I allowed her, and she allowed me, then I allowed her.
I'm done.
Oh no,
I'm done.
I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying. Anyway.
We're not making fun.
I am.
I'm not making fun.
All right, but just listen. I'm not trying to go against women because I love women to death.
I love women. My mama's a woman. My best friend's a woman.
I love women to death. I'm just saying in those specific situations, we're not talking about the plane crash and you don't know who your parents was and now you live with the auntie or the mother, the cousin, the grandfather. I don't know. We're talking about the specific situations where this girl got pregnant. She got these two men over here to take a DNA test, and neither one of these men are the father.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I'm not Notre Dame. All right, so back to what I was saying before we wrap this up. I was just saying those specific situations, I blame the mother.
I think
you should know better. Or if you don't know better, at least explain it to your child.
I think it's both of their faults, honestly. It's
both?
It's both. It's both. Y'all too.
Okay, here's the thing. How is it both of, and we're going to end it here because we're going to be going forever on this one. How is it both of their faults when the father didn't even know he had a child out there? You don't think it's the responsibility of the mother to say, hey, you might be the father?
He know that he had sex with that woman. There's always a possibility.
Well, shit, if that's a possibility, it's a possibility of 1,000 me running around here. I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying. It's a possibility. So what, okay. Let me ask you this. Is it a possibility that you got other children running around out here, Anna?
Absolutely not.
Case closed. There is no possibility that you have other children running around here. So that means then you should know who the hell you got pregnant by. Or have an idea. And if that's the point where the child don't know, you should tell them.
I know.
You shouldn't have stepdaddy in the picture,
I know
and
what-
stepdaddy been taking care of this child the whole
I know
time, and
what
you ain't never
mailman
told
it
him.
was. You-
All right, I'm gone. Forget you. Hey, yo, mailman. All right, but you know what, people? That it's just something to think about. Like, these questions are from people, and people
go
actually
through
go through these situations. They go through this stuff, and a lot of stuff we understand because we see and we know people that go through stuff. And I mean, if you live in our communities, you know, if you live or you come from that that environment, then you will understand. There's a lot of people that don't know. All they know is on TV. They didn't live it. Listen, I come from an environment that every single person, everybody that I dealt with came from single parent homes. There was no daddies in the picture nowhere. I could run down my entire neighborhood. Nobody had a father there. Nobody. And I thought it was the norm. I thought it was just, that's how it was, right? Until I got old enough, and then not even old enough, until I got outside of where I live and in other cities and other places and different environments, and I dealt with people from different cultures, and they didn't go through that. It was just the norm to
That's
me.
not true either, though.
No.
You can't
What
say that.
yeah. As a whole, no, they do not.
So
they
you-
come
so
from
you-
different
so you
cultures,
Saying, so you saying different what's the word?
ethnicities.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm
Don't
saying
have
is,
single moms.
that is a situation that can happen to anyone. But what I'm saying is, it is normal in our communities, right? Normal in our communities.
I don't really agree.
It happens in other communities,
I think
but
it
it's not
happens
the
a lot.
norm. It's the norm for our community. You can't tell me that.
I mean,
you
I'm
can't
not-
tell
I'm
me.
saying-
I know so many people that grew up without fathers in their life. Man, stop it. And then the people that have fathers in their life, like me and a couple of my friends,
But all
our
I'm
parents
saying-
wasn't
but all
together.
I'm
They
saying-
par- I-
but
they
all
wasn't
I'm-
together.
All I'm saying is, I know a lot of people too. I went to a school with a lot of, other races too that have single moms, and it was a lot. So,
And like I just
don't think
said,
it's- I don't
like
think
I
it's
just
only in
said,
our community.
that happens with everyone, but it is normal. Again, if anybody listen to this, and that's black, that's African American, anything, you can't tell me if you grew up in the projects or you grew up in places like I did and you went through the stuff. It was the norm. It wasn't even a thought process. It wasn't even a thought. Nobody's daddies was around. And if they was around, they was in jail. They was in and out of jail, or they was whatever, or they fathers wasn't with their mothers, right? You lived in a household. Like, I had a friend that only lived with his father. He didn't live with his mother. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is the single parent household. It was more stepmoms and stepdads in our communities with me coming up. You didn't go into a house and be like, hey, there go your father, hey, there go your mother. I'm talking about real. I'm talking about biological, right? I'm not knocking step parents at all, because, hey, if that's what you got, that's what you got. And they do a great job. You know what I mean? Just as good.
We can agree to this one. That's fine. But anyway, guys.
That seems like the normal calling of this show.
But anyway, you all can drop us a comment and let us know your thoughts and views on this topic. I think it was a good topic. I
Yeah.
know.
And to that person, I hope you see this and watch this and understand. It's not an indictment on trying to be negative or whatever. This is the thought process of other people. This is how other people, this is what they want to know, and they want to know my opinion, her opinion, your opinion. They want to know. And that's how we learn. That's how we learn.
That's how we grow.
That's how we learn. That's how we grow with communication. You don't learn. A lot of times you go through stuff and you don't even know that the person next to you is going through this, or people all around you going through it, until you open your mouth and then you say it. And that's part of why we do topics and talk about it, because there's a lot of situations that people don't want to talk about. They don't discuss. It's like they go through this and it's like, silence, you know? And then when you do talk about it, you find out like, wait a minute, a lot of people going through the same thing. That was all.
All right. So again, drop a comment. Let us know if you have any questions your own. You can DM us on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, and leave your question or your topic. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe.
And we'll see y'all
next week
in the next video, right? See, like I see y'all next week. Well, I gotta see y'all next week. No, but later.
Spit the flute, pour up yellow, same color Pikachu. Get a tussin, got a nigga bustin', pour a whole pint in a bowl of fruit. Then let it soak in with the vodka. Pour a line in a pina colada. By the end of the day, I done emptied the bottle. I'm coolin' the Kuna Matata.